Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming for another Inner Life One-on-One video. Of course, by the title, you see that this one is about Kevin Samuels, who has been confirmed today by Revolt TV that he has passed away. Um, as you can see on the screen, I'm going to read this and then I want to show a video after this to memorialize one of the worst things I have heard him say. And hopefully, when people see this, they can wake up one day and realize that what he said was atrocious. It was predatory. And also I wanted to do this because I had planned on, once I got a chance to work on my videos and stuff again, I planned on going into this topic. And of course, he would be one of them that I would talk about. But with him passing away today, it changed that a little bit. So um, let me just go ahead and do this. And the only problem is it's going to be hard to do it when I want to give commentary, but I really want to just play the video without commentary. I really don't want to do commentary and just kind of leave it to you to see that, see what other people saw that was so egregious and so horrible with him. So, anyways, let's look at here. Here we go. With Revolt. Revolt said, the controversial YouTuber Kevin Samuel passes away. Revolt Black News has confirmed from reliable sources that YouTube sensation and self-proclaimed relationship guru Kevin Samuels has passed away today, May 5th. He was known for dating advice and YouTube videos where he operated under a self-proclaimed title of an image consultant. Some of his most popular videos included How Much Do You Cost to Submit? And modern women are average at best. I'm not going to say anything. Just last week, he sparked outrage on social media after he said unmarried women who are 35 years old and over are considered leftover women. If you lived to 35 and you're not married, you're a leftover. You're a leftover. Men know you may have a problem, he said. Whether you want to hear it or not, I'll go with you. I'm telling you the truth you don't want to hear. Although Samuels himself was twice divorced with an alleged single status, he never shied away from speaking his mind when it came to relationship topics. Rumors regarding his death began circulating on Twitter and other social media outlets earlier this evening, leading to an online battle between Samuel's fans and critics. Those who have found fellowship in the influencer ideology, excuse me, I'm a little country, ideology, accused his critics of celebrating his death. Kevin Samuels told broke men and mediocre-faced women to shoot in their range, and only one group wants him dead because of it. And that's LMFAO, laughing my you know what off. One user wrote, for example, a young woman shot back, "I don't believe Kevin Samuels is dead, for the record, but me not feeling bad if he is doesn't mean I'm celebrating it. He went out of his way to be cruel. You are not required to we are not required to mourn virtues he didn't show. And asking black women of all people to show tact is audacious." And then it says further details surrounding his cause of death have yet to be revealed. Okay, I kind of took my time with that because I didn't want to mess it up too much. But because sometimes I can read, sometimes I can't, so I don't want to mess it up too much. I think that went a little smoother than usual. Anyways, let me show you this video, and to show you one of the most egregious things that I've heard him say. And I'm sure you all heard it before. It's just a clip of it. It's not going to be very long. So let's take a look at this.
Use Makita's cordless products anytime, anywhere. One system, endless possibilities. No meetings, just a plan for the next meeting in the comfort zone.
And that's an unfortunate reality. That's gonna prohibit you more than anything else, the kid. And I'm not supposed to say it, but it's the truth. Especially when you start talking about a man who can make some choices. And I'm not supposed to say it, but it's the truth. And that's an unfortunate reality. That's gonna prohibit you more than anything else who want to be married.
Single or sideline.
Or and that's an unfortunate reality.
Sorry about that, guys. It was playing, but I couldn't stop it. Anyways, here we go with the video.
That's gonna prohibit you more than anything else, the kid. And I'm not supposed to say it, but it's the truth. Especially when you start talking about a man who can make some choices. So, ladies, I don't know. And why we're on this is because women in general have been told the opposite And that's where all this confusion is coming in. Y'all aren't getting the result. So I'll ask you a question before you run. If you're not getting back to the child's father, how do you think you can make your asset to the? How do you think you can make your child an asset to the kind of man you want to marry?
How can I make my child an asset?
To the kind of man you would want to marry.
I would have to. I feel like I would have to train her to be an asset, as in get her ready for life in general. Put her.
Okay, here we go.
So I'll ask you a question before you run. If you're not getting back to the child's father, how do you think you can make your asset to the? How do you think you can make your child an asset to the kind of man you want to marry?
How can I make my child an asset?
To the kind of man you would want to marry.
I would have to. I feel like I would have to train her to be an asset, as in get her ready for life in general. Put her in classes, make sure she's smart, make sure she's not, put in that time to make her a better person. Correct?
I'm asking. No, I'm asking because
I'm asking, am I right?
No, the question is how to make your child an asset to that man. That makes her an okay person. But how can you doubt? And this is a question all women are going to have to answer for themselves. How are my children benefiting you as my husband?
Okay, everyone. First, I want to stop the video and thank Bossy Empress TV for the clip. That is her thumbnail down at the bottom there, her watermark. And this is what I want to show you guys because this is a predatory mindset. This is someone who feels children should be an asset to adult males or to men, period. When children are just, walking around on earth wanting to be happy and be, have a good time and play. Anyways, here we go.
I never thought about that.
Well, and that's
what would you suggest? I'm just wondering because
I would say it's going to be extremely difficult. But what I would suggest is women who actually think about it from the man's side, understanding that my child today is a liability because it costs. So number one,
chicken this crispy tastes good with everything. More to love.
Okay, so I'm not going to edit this video. I'm telling you, I don't have time. So I was hoping to do it quick, and but all these commercials and everything coming on. I just want to say that, because a child costs a man, who was Kevin Samuels an asset to? Who was any of us an asset to? Is that what was going on? Is that what life is about, for children to be an asset to adults? Sure, on the farms, your child might be 5, 6, 7, 8 years old and out, slopping the hogs and, milking the cows or something like that. If you want to call that an asset, that is really teaching the child to basically run the farm one day, basically. It's not that the child is there for you. See, the child is not on this earth for us. The child is on the earth because we brought the children into this world. And we decided that we wanted them around because they bring so much joy and love and all of that. So something's going on with Kevin Samuels that he don't understand that. Something's wrong, that he didn't feel that love for his child, and he didn't feel that joy that children bring, and he equated he looked at, obviously, his child as being on this earth, or being in his household, as some kind of drain on him. When a child naturally gives back in their spirit, in their joy, in their love for you, the way they treat you, it's just their innocence is a beautiful thing to have in a household. It livens up a household. Their energy just livens up the household. And if a man is sitting back thinking that this child is just costing me, then something's wrong. Anyways, let's go.
So number one, is she well mannered, well behaved, smart, taking care? Does she understand? And do I really believe that you're going to come second to my husband? Is my husband going to come first, or is it we're a package deal? If you're a package deal, that's no deal. I'll be honest, it's a package deal that's no deal, because let's say you and I were to get married, you got a daughter, right? Let's say we have 2 kids together. And your child is 5. So 10 years from now, your daughter comes home and says, Captain Touch looked at me getting out of the shower. What happens next?
The relationship will have to end.
Huh?
That's not something the relationship would end immediately.
Because your daughter said I looked at her getting out of the shower.
Why would that person even be close to the bathroom to see her? That would be the thing. You have to defend your seed. You have to defend your child.
Mm-hmm. But you also remember, you got 2 of my kids. So that means I should never listen to them. That means I should avoid women like you. Because off the rip, your desire to defend your child blew up. You got 2 of my kids. And off rip, your protective instinct says, fuck everything, including those other 2 kids.
Yes. Of course.
Do you? You said the relationship would have to end. So what would you tell our 2 children?
We got to get away from daddy for a little while.
No, you said the relationship would have to end. So
it would have to end, because
but
I would tell any of my kids. If I had 3 kids, 1 by someone else, 2 by my.
But what I'm telling you, what I'm saying is what we tell our 2 children.
We have to get away from daddy for a little while. See what happens.
Your half sister stated this happened, and this is not a comfortable situation, and we have to part ways.
You can get the fuck out. You can get the fuck out.
Because I'm not the one paying the bill.
No, because you're not taking my kids. See, that's what I mean. Y'all act like y'all got too much power.
It's not power.
It's not power.
First of all,
that's protection.
First off, I just said if she said it. You didn't question whether or not the claim was said. Because that's your child. That's what I'm saying. Your child can never be an asset to anybody, because that's the bomb that's always there. Okay.
So you can touch children and look at them in the showers, and mama's supposed to sit back and just let you do it and don't protect the child. No. Brothers, if you believe this, you're going to jail. Okay? That's the problem with Kevin Samuels. He was setting you all guys up for jail, because you're going to go out in the state of mind that you are in collectively, black man. You're going to go out and harm women and children with the ideas that this man has been feeding you all these years. It's time to wake up and realize that a lot of his supporters are having issues, going to jail. They're out killing people. They're out doing crazy things because they don't have the mental capacity to understand that Kevin Samuels is just a man, or was just a man, who enjoyed making the money on YouTube. That's all he was about, was making money. And you were his biggest supporter, so he supported you in your ideas. He didn't care if you go out and go to jail. He didn't care. He just wanted you to think that you were something, your ego was something great. He fed your ego. But the problem with feeding ego to men who are having problems, who have sicknesses, is that they can become very dangerous to the other people around them. And he did not want to even discuss the dangers that you present, the dangers that you can cause in the world and that you are causing. He did not want to go and even discuss that. And you have to wonder why. Collectively, he didn't want to talk about what men did collectively in this world. All the damage, all the danger, all the violence that an angry black man and angry black men are doing in this world. Here, let's listen. I didn't want to commentate, but here I am.
And what the fuck? What could a man do about that? I could provide everything. We could have children, and automatically you're gonna jump off rip, go for your child. Your child. So don't ask me to treat your child like it's biologically mine when you be willing to blow up my biological children's shit for something else. And you know kids can say anything.
Yeah, but what if one of your kids came to her and told her that you did the same thing to one of your kids? What's she supposed to do? Just sit there? Or just take one of her kids and take that one kid away? Or what? Anyways, it's craziness. Protect your children, mothers. Protect your children, ladies. Men, get back on protecting your children. Because these guys, people like Kevin Samuels is out there, and people who listen to Kevin Samuels is out there. Protect your children. Watch what man you let around your children. Should not be very many. As your children are growing, they shouldn't be under any man's influence unless you have vetted him so much and so long until you know that it's impossible for him to harm a child. Period.
They can, but you have to protect your kids at all costs.
Then
you have to talk.
Then no. Leave. No. See, I want you to understand that you have no empathy for men. It's about you and your kid.
What kind of empathy should a woman have to see a grown man actually wanting to have sex with a child? You know, one thing I heard these Israelites say, all on side Neta TV and everything, they're talking about how, yes, they can have girls at the age of 12 when they first start their menstruation. Okay. Now, sometimes girls even start their menstruation younger than that. Okay. But the thing is, what they're missing, they're just locked in their emotion of sex. That emotion, that desire, the desire to have sex with everyone and everything is an emotion. Okay, so they're so emotional, but they don't want to admit that is an emotion. Okay, but they want to have sex with anyone and everything until they're not logically thinking that what happens with the 12-year-old boys while you having sex with the 12-year-old girls. They don't get the experience. They don't get a chance to touch and look and whatever they need to do to develop while their hormones are raging rather. They don't get a chance to develop that because greedy men, ill men, fantasize about children and decide they want to have sex with children. Okay, so anyways, This is not okay. What Calvin Samuels is saying is not okay. If you are thinking on this line, brothers and sisters, if you're thinking it's okay for a man, a woman is thinking that it's okay for a man to make her children an asset to him sexually, you're not a mother. You're not a mother. Anyways, let's hear this.
I'm somebody's child.
Yeah.
Empathy of a man because he's somebody's child. And what is he, 55, 56 years old? How are you somebody's child? You stop being somebody's child when you start thinking about sleeping with other people's children and you 50 years old. You stop being somebody else's child. See, a child is innocent. They have that innocence in them until they grow and they get in the world and they learn more and then they start doing more. And usually grown men are not empathized with because they have done so much to harm other people, sneakily sometimes, often rather, a lot of things that we don't know that they're doing. Okay? But it comes out on you. We know it. We see it. We can hear it in your voice. We can see it in your eyes. We know the way you talk. You have dibbled and dabbed into things over the years and became a detriment to not only yourself, but also to women and children. Anyway, let's finish this off.
What about those children we have together? Man, you're not right in this.
I'm not debating you.
No, this woman, Kevin Samuels had a way of manipulating the conversation, and he liked to control it to a point where she can't say anything or else she will be shut out of the conversation. So he would hang up on her. So she's basically going along with him because she knows exactly what the deal is. She spoke about it already. The truth of the matter is what your instincts as a female and as a mother is, and that is to protect children at all costs. Whoever, no matter who you are, no matter who the man is, if he's somebody else's child, if he's grandma's child might just have to be locked down now because something's bad about something. I won't say bad, something's gone wrong with grandma's child. Okay, and most of the time grandma's not even here, and he wants you to have empathy for him and his penis, and his sexual emotional desire. That's what he wants you to have empathy for, just because he got money and he paying for everything. That's a sickness. That's a sickness. You mess with children, you're somebody this age, you are ill. Period. Children mess with children. Adults mess with adults. If you cannot find an adult to mess with, then you are ill if you're thinking about children. Period. Just a thought. Just a thought. You need mental health. Help.
Debating the concept.
Yeah,
You got to protect your kids at all costs. So then you need to go be with your child's father, and y'all need to work that out so that can never come up. Because let's switch the situation. If I'm that child's biological father, and she comes out of the shower, and 10 years later, Daddy looked at me a certain kind of way, and I'm her biological dad, then what do you say?
Same thing. Same thing.
But you notice how you couldn't pull rank on me? You couldn't pull that. We got to separate. You couldn't pull.
No, she can pull rank. The problem is that she's trying to walk lightly around Kevin Samuels because Kevin Samuels will hang up on her. he will end the conversation. Now she's trying to get her point across, and she is being diplomatic in getting her point across. Okay, she wants to show him respect, even though in it can be nice and respectful, and then 0 to 100 with Kevin Samuels, he will go off and start cursing and hang up. Okay, so she's treading lightly around him, but I guarantee you she feels the exact same way that I feel, and that is, you got to go. You got to go. And if you don't go, I won't just say that. I won't say what would happen afterwards. But of course, the police will be involved. Of course, there will be investigations. Of course, because daddy has done something. And to say that the child is lying, well, we're going to have to find that out. Children don't usually lie about stuff like that. Okay? Maybe a teenager might. When a teenager is a teenager, they might, because they're mad at dad, or they, not just because they're mad at dad, but stepdad, he did something he didn't like. Usually they want to, anyways, we won't go through all of that, but no, Kevin, you got to go. You got to go. Period. This is absurd. Okay, to be trying to coach this woman into allowing men to come in her life and use her children sexually. And that's all he was talking about, was a sexual scenario. Okay, that's not power, it's love. That's what that is. For her to want to protect her child when she knows what having a sexual deviant do to a child. She knows the outcome, how the child feels, the problems mentally that the child can go through for the rest of their life, because they have been tampered with by a depraved man, older man, or a depraved man, period. Here we go.
Rank on me. You couldn't pull biological rank. You want to, but you're like,
no, she can pull biological rank all she wants every day when it comes down to those kids. Okay? You have no rank. There is no rank. Daddy, just because it is your biological child, you have no rank. She might question it a little bit more because your daddy, you are biological, but she's going to have to do the same thing with that child as she did the other child. Make sure that you are not a danger to the children around her, period. It has to end. The first thing has to end. She goes away. Whether you leave or she leaves, they get out of there. She's going to take the kids, whether you like it or not. All you have to do is go to sleep and they're gone. And that's it.
pew pew. And it's his kid too.
It would have to be an end situation as well.
And you'd have to get the fuck out. And you'd have to get out. And you'd have to get out.
Understood. I completely understand that.
We would get out then. There's no problem getting out. Well, I'll go call your mama, your mama, and tell her to come and get us, Mr. I'm Somebody's Child. I'll go call your mama. Tell your mama to get in your hoop and her hoopty and come and get all of us, except you. Oh, excuse me, guys. I forgot. Kevin Samuels is no longer here with us. He's no longer here.
So the end would be for who? You'd be leaving.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what you're talking about. You're talking about the end situation. I'd be leaving with my child.
I understand, Kevin.
And I want everybody to
No, you don't have a child. if you touch your children. You don't have a child anymore. That's not your child anymore, sir. You're not treating her like a child and like your child or any child. You're not treating her like a child. Therefore, she's not your child. You don't have a child. Mama, take your children and run. And if you better go and have that child checked and check it out. Simple as that. He should accept you saying, if he feel the child has lied, he should accept you saying, well, okay, well, what we do, we go on and stay over here, or you go and stay somewhere else because it costs more for us to go and stay away, and then so you go get your room somewhere, and I will go and take the baby to the doctor or whatever has to be done. We're going to go and investigate this and see, what comes out of it. And any real man who has not touched a child and has not touched his children will go in and say, okay, that sounds good. That sounds doable. That way you can stay connected with the family, not with the children, but with the mother, and know what the children is doing, what everything's going on in the house, and then until they investigate to see if that child is lying or not.
To understand, this is why you don't deal with women with children, because, especially in our community, there is no blending families when this kind of stuff comes up. Because single mothers are too used to pulling rank.
Okay, why should these things come up? Now, these things does come up in this community, and we have a lot of craziness that happens too, And for us to have someone like Kevin Samuel sitting on YouTube making videos that have been around for years and years and years, he's trying to coach women and allowing men to hurt children, and he's trying to coach men into believing that it's okay. Okay, but it's not okay. It's not okay for the man mentally, because if you think yourself in a position of a child, or you have to have power over a child through your phallus, then there should be some help for you somewhere. And it's not in the home with the children. There's help somewhere. And if you can't find that help, then your best bet is to stay out there, away from the children. Okay? It's not power, it's love. Take care of your children.
This is why single mothers are potentially so dangerous, because you're not used to having to actually.
Single women dangerous. See this talk, the way he talked, and then black men are getting on other platforms and saying, oh, y'all celebrating his death. It's almost like one more who hurt children is gone. Who cares about that? Who's going to cry about that? This man openly basically is telling you that children are fair, or they should be fair game. So, no. People are dealing with this situation the way they are dealing with it. And if they're celebrating it, that's them. Me, myself, I don't care if he's dead, and I don't care if he's alive. It doesn't matter to me. I don't feel anything about either way. Okay? I didn't like what he said. I don't like what he said. His videos are here. And they're horrible. They have taught men to be horrible against women. Period. Not just black women. That was his main focus. But there are other women listening to him, and other men in other races listening to him as well. I've seen it on, and other channels and stuff. They listen to him and they rah-rah him. But I'm here to tell you, if you rah-rah this kind of stuff, something's wrong with you. Something is going on with you mentally that you need to heal. And see, that's the sad part and the bad part about a Kevin Samuels in this community. Our community is drowning in mental illness. The collective mind is so mixed up and so messed up in this community until they're hurting themselves and don't even know it. They think it's okay, the weird and crazy things that they're doing, just because they just want to do something. And for Kevin Samuel to come in and capitalize on that, that's what he's doing. He's capitalizing on, or he was capitalizing on, your pain, black man. He's capitalizing, making you think that you're something greater than you are. There's nothing wrong with being equal. Just like you're equal with your buddies, there's nothing wrong with being equal with a woman, mentally and spiritually. Nothing's wrong with that. Because when you come home at night after being outside, struggling and fighting and all of that, a woman provides a soft place for you to lay your head. Not necessarily her body, sir, but a pillow next to her where she can talk these things out with you so that you can feel better. A lot of guys say, well, men don't have a place to speak and all of this and that. You know what? You have a place to speak, but you chose not to take it. Years and years ago, men would not talk to women. That was a man thing to do. You didn't go and talk to women, okay? And then you couldn't talk to your buddies because, you could only talk to them about things that were surface. You couldn't talk to them deeply about things, what's going on with you. If you're, having some kind of feelings about children and all of that other stuff, you couldn't go to your buddies and talk to them about that realistically so you can get some help. Okay? But a woman, if you grew up as and it's not easy now, okay? And at this day and age, you can't go to a woman, lay on her pillow, and she got 5 kids, or y'all have 5 kids together, and you go tell her that you have desires about children or have thoughts about children. You can't do that. You got to know your place, okay? But usually, a woman will be that place for you to where you can go and say, I have these feelings. When you don't have children in the house, okay? Somebody that she got to protect, that would make her feel uncomfortable. But a woman, if you had a woman and you were getting with her and trying to build something with her, that is the time to talk to her about those things. Your buddy's not going to talk to you about that because they're just going to push it off. They don't want to go deep. Okay? So, but the things is, it's kind of messed up right now. You can't talk about these things too much, but other things you can talk about. And that's where the woman came in at. And that's where the woman should come in at. Because then she can encourage you and help you. Not be your helpmate, but be somebody there to help you, help soften the blow of the world with you. And you do the same for her. And that's what a relationship is about. The relationship is not about, you know, the man being, God, and telling the woman everything what she need to do and what he need to do and everything. He just in control of everything. And yet she's an adult. That's why you have problems with women, because they're adults and they've already been controlled and told what to do by their parents, and they've become women. And now you want to take that woman back into childhood and subjugate her to you. So, anyways, let's finish this up, guys.
Split the responsibility. It's your child. And that's fine. But then if why should any man have to deal with that? So I feel sorry for you ladies, but this is the positions a lot of women put themselves in, and then we're supposed to do.
Again, Kevin, you're not here, but don't feel sorry for us. My mother had a man like you who decided that he wanted to touch the children, touch the little girls. And my mother, when she got wind of it, she left him. Number one, she left him. Wouldn't go back to him. He would come around and everything, and and she would send him on home. She let him kiki, maybe even see the kids. But he would go and go on back wherever he came from. But he couldn't stay in that house with them children. Okay? There wasn't a big where, women could call the police and, get investigations and stuff at that time. So, but my mother, I heard her make the stance and say the words. I forgot who she was saying it to, but she was saying that she would never put another man over her children. She had younger girls and one boy that was young, and about 3 girls and 1 boy that was close to age together, and she said she wasn't going to put another man over them, and she did not. But we knew deep inside of ourselves my mother had a boyfriend, because this man used to call the house. And we had only seen him one time. This man came to our house one time. At least I only seen him one time actually come in and sit on our couch. Okay? But my mother would go and have, her, she would go out and leave us at home, and she'd come back. She came back. She didn't go out and stay, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. She came and she went and did what she wanted to do, and then she came back home to her children. Okay, to make sure her children was right. Because if she had to stay long or whatever from her children, then her children start getting ideas that mama's not going to be gone long. Therefore, she can do this, and they can bring people in the house and all these other things. So anyway, she was not having that. But my mother never did. From my being a little girl, I never saw another man in our house except that man who sat on our couch one time. We knew who he was because of him on the phone. We used to answer the phone and call her, give her the phone. And other than that, and then we remember one time my mother ran away. She ran away for about, I think, a week or something like that. And she would call us. And we were teenagers then, though. But she would call every day, talk to us, telling us that she's tired and she's this and that, basically guilt tripping us and stuff. But I can tell you one thing, that when my mother ran away, that was the time. I don't think we ever cleaned the house so good. we got together and we cleaned that house up to the point of, you know, I mean, we were wiping down walls and all kinds of stuff because everybody wanted our mother to be okay, you know. So, anyways, and now here we are with Kevin Samuels teaching people that just go and abuse your children. Go and abuse other people's children. You know, that's what a man does. No, a real man does not. A real man does not have thoughts of children. Okay? They don't have sexual thoughts of children. A man has sexual thoughts of women. And they don't try to play with the ages and everything and oh well she's mature. She's a mature girl. No. She's a girl. Her body is not as mature as yours is. There are women your age, close to your age, that bodies are mature. Their minds are mature like yours at the same rate. You guys have matured at the same rate. Simple as that, guys. Y'all don't want to hear it. You women don't want to hear it mostly either, you know, but that is the natural order of things. That's the natural order. Anyways, let's see if he has any more, then I'm going to let you guys go on this.
What about it? Because if it was biologically my child, you said it would be over. Why would you not question your child? Why would you not question your dad? Why would you not just say, girl, whatever, that's your daddy? Why would you just...
You say that to your child like he wants you to say, you will ruin your child. You will not, your child will feel like you're not there for her or like there for him. They feel like you're taking someone else's side other than theirs. You will ruin your child and it will be in their heads for the rest of their lives, and you'll be wondering why your relationship is not that great. And in the meanwhile, somebody like Kevin Samuels, he's gone on to another family. See, and then left you and that baby and that child, rather, there trying to deal with the aftermath of him being there and him touching all the kids in the house.
Why would you blow up a marriage? Why would you just believe her?
Why would I just believe my daughter?
Yeah, children lie.
You see, this is a smart woman. You see how she threw her head back and, you know, children lie. Okay. You know, you think you're talking to a little child, Kevin Samuels. You thought you were talking to a little kid. But this woman is a woman. This is a woman here. She knows that what comes out of her body, she has natural instinct, a spiritual instinct to take care of it, to protect it. You lost your instinct somewhere. Most likely you lost your instinct in porn. You lost your instincts in watching and looking at Playboy, hanging out with the boys and talking down about women. And with Kevin Samuels, some of the things they say about him, you lost your instinct when you were out being with men sexually and having your desires that way. Anyways, here we go.
You know what I mean?
Excuse me.
I said, look. And you said grown men lie. Okay, you said grown men lie too. I said, she's... Okay, so, and this is my point. We go all the way back to the club and the bartending, and that's why I mentioned your mentality is important. You don't trust men.
And you are the perfect example of why she should not trust men. Because men like you are sitting there trying to make her feel like it's okay for her to sacrifice her children to them. Men like you are out there, and she shouldn't trust men. If that's her problem, she shouldn't trust men. What? Trust a man for what? He has to earn that trust. Men have to earn trust from women, just like women have to earn trust from them as well, So why would she just blindly give you trust just because you're making some money to house them and feed them? And Kevin Samuel mostly spoke about money and high value men and everything, but he didn't really have a mentality of richness. He talked about taking a woman out on a date and buying her one drink. Because you don't want to spend a lot of money on her. That is a poverty mentality. Men that have money, and I have had a few, men who have money take a woman out and, hey, whatever you want. Hey, we out here, we're having a good time. That's all. We're just having a good time. You want something to drink? You want some more? You want something to eat? Let's hang out together. Let's do this thing together. But Kevin Samuels wants you to go out with a woman where she would be miserable. She won't have a good time because she's sitting here watching all of these snide remarks and all this misogyny that's coming out of you and coming out of him, where he's watching every single dollar and watching this and can't have nothing but one drink and all. You go, And in the meanwhile, it's probably somebody like Sam and Kevin who has a suit on, like trying to dress to kill, and she can't get another drink. She might be thirsty. She can't have another drink. I'm not talking about thirsty for alcohol. She might want a Coke the second time or something. Come on. But anyways, that's it. That is Kevin Samuels, people. That's who he was. That's where he was mentally. You cannot say that he wasn't there and he was just making up a scenario. No, brother. No. A real man would never allow a scenario like that in his mind about children and what a woman should do to not protect children. A real man understands that children are fragile and precious, and they need to be nurtured and taken care of and protected. You got a little baby walking around and or in the house just learning to walk, and then you got glass here and you got the iron and you got women running around, and they protect them from those things. And a man will too, if he's in this, a real man would. If he's in the environment with that baby and that baby's running around, he will be immediately put into the mode of moving this out of the way, moving that out of the way. So, guys, this is who you guys were listening to. This is what he was leading you to. You need to understand that. And leading you to something like that is mental death, spiritual death, and possibly physical death. Peace and blessings, everyone. Peace and blessings.